Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Preparing the End of Financial Year webinar. We will have questions at the end of the session, so if you want to just type your questions into the question box as we go and we can address them at the end. We'll also be sending you out a video link if you want to watch it a second time. My name is Patrina. Okay, we'll get started. So what's on the agenda for this webinar? 8 key tips for a smooth end of financial year. What is a payment summary? Ordering process and what you receive. Terminations, things your consultant may contact you about. What if there is a mistake? Key due dates, summary and questions. So 8 key tips for a smooth end of financial year. Number 1, start preparing and planning now. Planning now will help avoid any last-minute issues that may affect your ability to meet your legal obligations. Number 2, educate your stakeholders. Let others know of your workload and your requirements. Let them know what you need and when you need it. Number 3, avoid ordering your payment summaries too early. Please ensure that you check all your details and figures before ordering. Number 4, don't rush through your ordering. Be aware of any changes in the ordering process that may be different from last year. Number 5, check your reports thoroughly. Save time by confirming the accuracy of your reports. You will reduce the risk of requiring amendments down the track. Number 6, reconcile your reports. Your month-end payroll summary report for June 2016 will show you total payments for each pay code for the entire year. Reconcile your figures back to your Payment Summary reconciliation report and your accounting system. Number 7, avoid ordering your payment summaries too late. The order forms are due by Thursday, the 7th of July. And help us help you. Our priority during this time will be payment summary production. Non-urgent requests will be prioritised daily. We thank you in advance for your patience. Okay, what is a payment summary? Payment summaries were previously known as group certificates. The payment summary details the total payments made to an employee in the financial year and also shows the amount of tax that's been withheld. Aussiepay will electronically submit this information through to the ATO on or before the 14th of August. Okay, so this is a sample of a payment summary. It has your address, your return address at the top, the employee's address, the service dates within the current financial year, the employee's tax file number, tax withheld from gross payments including lump sum payments. Your gross pay and lump sum amounts are rounded to the dollar. Grossed up RFB, your RESC value, the total allowances paid over the financial year, a breakdown of each allowance to be displayed as an individual amount. If your employee has 3 allowances, 3 descriptions and 3 amounts will be shown in this area. The deductions are much the same as the previous section. Workplace giving amounts are also shown separately, and your employer details at the bottom. Okay, example of an ETP payment summary. Again, we've got your return address at the top, the employee's address, the date of payment, we have the tax file number, the tax withheld from the ETP, taxable component of the ETP, and the tax-free component. Note that this does not refer to the tax-free portions of redundancy payments, rather the tax-free portions of invalidity payments, and the ETP code. And at the bottom, your employer details. Okay, so ordering your payment summaries. This is a list of the reports that you'll receive from Aussiepay, and we'll go through each one individually. So we have a year-end letter. This outlines the due dates for information as well as providing a summary for each report that you have received. The Employer Details Report has the following information in it. You need to make sure all of the information is correct. This is due to us by the 30th of June at the very latest. So the employer details. This name should match the name registered with your ABN. This is your business address. If this is not your postal address, please advise your consultant. Please ensure your phone and fax numbers are correct. Your ABN appears on all payment summaries. It's important that this number is correct. The payment summary signatory is the person in your business who meets ATO requirements to sign a payment summary. And the ANZAC code is based on your primary business activity. This form must be signed by the payment summary signatory. The employee details report will include the following information. Again, please make sure that if you have any changes that it's sent through to your consultant as soon as possible. So your employees may be empowered to update their own address details through our employee self-service function. If you've not done so already, ask your employees to log on and check that their name and address details are up to date before you commence your checking reports. Alternatively, provide a deadline to have the details updated. So a sample of the report, you need to confirm that any start dates are correct and termination dates have been processed. You need to make sure the tax file numbers have been supplied. If the tax file number is a generic number, you need to check your records or contact your employee to obtain the tax file number. You should make sure that the employees' addresses are correct and that they don't contain any commas, and that all addresses contain the state and postcode, and they need to be Australian addresses. So again, if any information is incorrect, please notify your consultant. Check your RESC is correct. So as part of your year-end processing, we need to make sure that all the information is there. So what is an RESC? This is super contributions you make to that your employee has had an influence over. Any employer contributions in addition to the compulsory SGC that are included in a company-wide policy may not be included in RESC. So what needs to be included is any salary sacrifice, any additional employer contributions that your employee has asked you to make or has been part of contract negotiations. So for example, the employee may have asked for a lower cash salary in return for higher employer contributions. What should not be included in RESC? Superannuation guarantee contributions, award superannuation contributions, and any company-wide additional employer contributions. So again, for example, you may pay all of your employees 15% super. This will be made up of 9.5 SGC and 5.5 additional employer contributions. So this is what the report looks like. If the fulfilment is being recorded correctly for each employee, for example, is all salary sacrifice recorded as yes? If the total of yes is correct on the payment summary reconciliation report, so you're confirming both those values match. Year-to-date reconciliation. So you need to reconcile your payment summary figures to your month-end payroll summary or your general ledger. By reconciling these now, you'll ensure that your employees have received accurate information on their payment summaries. If you do happen to find an issue, again, please contact your consultant as soon as possible. So a sample of the payment summary reconciliation report is below. This is exactly what is shown on the payment summaries. Grossed up RFB. So grossed up reportable fringe benefit figures were due to Aussiepay on the 20th of May. If you've not supplied these figures to Aussiepay, please do so as soon as possible with the following information on an Excel spreadsheet to make it easy. So we need employee family name, employee given name, and the grossed up reportable fringe benefit amount. Just a handy hint, grossed up amounts less than 2,000 are not required to be reported. Okay, reconciliation of allowances and deductions. So some allowances and deductions are required to appear as an individual item on your payment summary. A determining factor in where the allowance or deduction should appear on the payment summary is not what you are labelling the allowance, but the description behind the reason for the payment. While you may label the allowance laundry, you may be providing this payment for dry cleaning of business shirts. This example would display differently on the payment summary to laundering protective clothing or uniforms. So allowances. Some examples of the allowances that may need to appear individually on the payment summary are phone or internet, kilometre, motor vehicle, tool or laundry. Please be aware that there are many different requirements for each allowance. An allowance that you currently supply may not fit into the above categories. If so, let your consultant know and they'll be able to help you. So deductions. Again, some samples of deductions that may need to appear on the payment summaries are union contributions, professional association fees, and workplace giving. Please be aware that there are many different requirements for each also. So how to reconcile? You may have your own process at the end of year. However, here's an example of a simple way to do this to your month-end reports. So using your month-end payroll summary from June, you'll be able to confirm figures on the Payment Summary Reconciliation Report. So this year-to-date figure is the absolute gross. That is payments to employees before any deductions, before tax or separation of termination payments. From the year-to-date total, payments minus any ETP or lump sum payments and pay codes marked as after tax. Next, minus the total deductions before tax. The figure that you've reached will match your total gross pay on the Payment Summary Reconciliation Report. The next step is to check the lump sum payments and the ETP against your month-end reports. These figures should mirror each other. Confirm the tax and the ETP tax also match your month-end payroll summary. Confirm the allowances reconcile to the month-end payroll summary. And confirm the deductions reconcile back to the payroll summary. Also, the RESC should have been reconciled earlier. However, ensure the figures match to the reportable RESC report. And the RFB should also have been reconciled earlier. However, ensure the figures match what you have provided to us earlier. Okay, the order form. So this is a quick, simple to complete once all of the steps have been completed. Remember, your completed form should be returned to Aussiepay no later than the 7th of July. If there's a problem with your order form, you will be contacted by your consultant. That's if there's anything that's missed being ticked or signed, we'll let you know. We will be producing your payment summaries within 5 business days. However, you do have an express processing option available. This year we have 2 ordering options to make it simple. Employee copies can be available online or printed. and your employer copies can be posted to your company address or emailed to an authority at your company. Year-end CD order form. This year you'll have the opportunity to order your CD early. We'll also have the option of complementing your CD with a credit card USB. It's another safe and convenient way to keep all your records on a handy-sized USB. So simply complete the form and return it to your consultant prior to the 18th of July. We'll commence production of these CDs once the payment summaries have been finalised. And you'll be invoiced for your CD once it's been prepared. Terminations. Okay, so processing terminations are an inevitable part of processing payroll. Most of the time they're straightforward, however, there are exceptions. There are several different sections of termination payments that fall into. So we've got gross pay, ETPs and lump sum payments. When you have an employee terminating, you may notice your consultant asking additional questions or information from you. This is so they can determine how the payments are to be processed and ensure it's put in the right area. This may take time initially, however, it will save a significant amount of time at this time of year. So the gross pay. All payments and entitlements on termination will be included in the employee gross pay with the following exceptions: payments in lieu of notice, genuine redundancy, gratuity payments, long service leave accrued prior to the 16th of August 1978. ETPs. These payments are additional payments made to employees outside of standard entitlements. Reasons for this may include payments in lieu of notice, payments made over the tax-free threshold, rostered days off, sick leave termination, compensation payments, and some invalidity or death payments. A lump sum A payment. These are related to genuine redundancy, invalidity, approved early retirement schemes, or some leave entitlements and attract a different tax rate to standard terminations. So the lump sum payments include long service leave accrued between the 16th of August 1978 and the 17th of August 1993. Annual leave for leave accrued prior to the 18th of August 1993. Long service leave due to genuine redundancy, invalidity or approved early retirement schemes, and annual leave due to the genuine redundancy, invalidity or approved early retirement schemes. Lump sum B. These payments are related to unused long service leave prior to the 16th of August 1978, and they also attract a different tax rate. Lump sum B would be payable on all termination reasons other than genuine redundancy, invalidity or approved early retirement schemes. So lump sum D, these payments are tax-free portion of the genuine redundancy or approved early retirement schemes. The threshold will depend on the number of completed years of service the employee has completed. Lump sum D payments do not form part of assessable income. However, will still do appear on the employee's payment summary. Okay. So this is a sample of the termination coding for ETPs, and we'll go through each one of these individually. You're able to check the amounts of coding of each of the terminations against your employee termination report. Remember, terminations are and can be a tricky area for payments. Aussiepay will ensure every effort is taken to break down and code your terminations correctly on your behalf. If your consultant asks for additional information, we require this to determine the payment types and to ensure compliance for you. Okay, your payment summaries. An employee that has received an ETP for a resignation will receive their standard payment summary with their gross payments, as well as a payment summary for the ETP. You will see on each ETP payment summary the coding that has been applied to the termination. Okay, so things your consultant may contact you about. Your consultant may contact you regarding any combination of the following: date of birth for employees, earning signatories, when you'll be processing your final pay for the year, or minimum wage increase for the new financial year. Some or all of these may not be specifically applicable to you or your company. Please be assured that we do require further information regarding these. Your consultant will be in contact with you shortly. So what happens if there's a mistake? What you need to do. Try not to panic. We will support you through this process. Gather as much information as you can, such as employee names, pay codes, amounts, etc. Contact your consultant as soon as possible and discuss the issue. Sometimes a second set of eyes is helpful. It may turn out it's not an issue at all. If an ad hoc payroll is required to make an adjustment, ensure they are approved in a timely manner. If there are any changes once we've produced the payment summaries at end of year, we will need to recommence and do them again, and you'll be resent all of your reports for approval and order again. So the charges involved: payment summary production is charged at your normal payroll processing fee. So for example, if you were charged $5 per employee per pay run with a minimum of $100, your charges may be $100 for 5 payment summaries. Or if you have 25 payment summaries, it'll be 25 times the $5. If you've picked up an error after payment summaries have been produced, we may need to roll back your production of the payment summaries to reproduce these again, and this incurs an additional $100 to do so. To prevent this occurring, ensure the following is done: that all of your information is reconciled, all of your terminations have been checked, and your grossed up reportable fringe benefit figures have been provided. Due dates. Okay, so number 1, your employer and employee details. This information is due by the 30th of June. This allows us time to make any changes required. Grossed up reportable fringe benefit. This should already have been provided to us. The due date was the 20th of May. Payment summary orders. These are due to Aussiepay by Thursday the 7th of July. Late orders may attract an express processing fee of $100. This is in place to ensure that we guarantee your compliance and your orders will be processed on time according to your delivery selections. Summary. Use our 8 key tips to help you streamline and reduce stress. Check your employer details thoroughly. Check your employee details, your RESC and grossed up reportable fringe benefits, your allowances and deductions, and that you reconcile your year-to-date figures. Submit your order form and contact your consultant as soon as possible if there's any mistakes that have been made. Now we'll just check if there's any questions. Thank you everybody for attending. Okay, so we don't have any questions. That's good news. We'll send out the link to everybody shortly. Thank you.